is Archana Arora, and I have a master's degree in French from Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. I have over 20 years of experience teaching French, and I've been associated with Ashton Testing Services since April of 2020 as a TCF examiner. Since March 2023, I've been working as the coordinator for the TCF Canada exam at Ashton Testing Services. Okay, so what is TCF Canada test? The TCF Canada test, or Test de connaissance du français pour le Canada, it is a standardized French language proficiency test that is recognized by IRCC, Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship, Canada. It evaluates a candidate's abilities in 4 components: reading, listening, speaking, and writing, and provides the official proof of French language skills for government procedures. Now, who typically needs to take the TCF Canada test? So TCF Canada is primarily required by individuals who are applying for the permanent residency, the PR, through programs such as Express Entry, including the Federal Skilled Worker Program, the Federal Skilled Trades Program, and the Canadian Experience Class. It's also required by people who are applying under the provincial nominee programs. Individuals who are applying for certain immigration streams where demonstrating French proficiency can significantly improve eligibility or increase the CRS points can also apply for this TCF Canada test. In short, TCF Canada is designed for individuals who want to prove their French proficiency for Canadian immigration or permanent residency applications. Now, many a times we are asked a question, what is the difference between TCF and TEF? So the main difference between TCF and TEF is who administers the test and a slight difference on the testing format. So TCF is administered by FEI, which is France Éducation Internationale, and TEF is administered by CCIP, that's Chambre de Commerce et d'Industrie de Paris Île-de-France. Both exams are equally accepted by IRCC for permanent residency applications. TEF Canada and TCF Canada are equally valid, but candidates typically choose one of the tests based on availability, test center locations, or personal preferences. At Ashton Testing Services, we offer the TCF Canada test only. Now, what does the structure of the TCF exam look like? The TCF Canada test evaluates a candidate's proficiency in French across 4 mandatory sections. We first have the speaking section, which is expression orale. It is a face-to-face interview with the certified TCF examiner, and the duration of this section is 12 minutes. This is the first section that is conducted in person by trained examiners. The speaking test includes structured tasks such as guided questions and role plays based on prompts. After the speaking section of all candidates has been conducted, we begin with the other 3 computer-based sections together for everyone. So first we have the listening comprehension, which is the comprehension orale. It is a multiple choice section where you have to answer 39 questions in a duration of 35 minutes. It is conducted on a computer with headphones in the testing lab. Candidates listen to audio clips and select the correct answers on screen. This is followed by the reading section, comprehension écrite. The duration of this section is 60 minutes, and during this time you have to answer to 39 multiple choice questions. This section is also completed on a computer where candidates read short and long text and choose the appropriate responses. This is followed by the last section, the writing section, expression écrite. Candidates have to give written responses to prompts. The duration of this section is 60 minutes, and you have to answer to 3 tasks. You have to complete 3 tasks during those 60 minutes. This section is also completed on a computer. Candidates type written responses to questions requiring short text, longer explanations, and formal or informal writing tasks. An important question often asked by candidates is what kind of keyboard language setting is enabled. For example, is it a European French keyboard layout? Is it a French Canadian keyboard, a Canadian multilingual standard keyboard, or a QWERTY in US international keyboard? So as per the mandate, we provide a QWERTY keyboard setup. While responding to the writing section, a virtual keyboard appears on the screen of the candidates with all the special characters or the accents that are required while doing the test. Are all sections completed on the same day? Yes, they are. At Ashton Testing Services, all 4 components, listening, reading, writing, and speaking, are scheduled and completed on the same day. Candidates will receive a convocation indicating the order of the sections and required reporting times at least 5 days before the test date. How is TCF Canada scored? Each section receives a separate score. The results reflect the candidate's proficiency level from A1, which is the beginner level, up to C2, which is the advanced level. Although the exam is administered at Ashton Testing Services, all final evaluation and scoring are conducted externally by FEI, France Éducation Internationale in France. Examiners at Ashton do not mark the tests. Now we are also, since we are conducting the exams, we are often asked what are the best ways to prepare for the TCF Canada. So my suggestion here would be that always use official preparation materials. Directly preparing with recognized resources will help the candidates understand the format, timing, and type of task that they will encounter on the actual test day. Some of the official resources that can be helpful are the official website of FEI. It provides detailed exam information, structure explanation, and sample questions. FEI and other major French publishers also provide practice tests in the form of booklets with answer keys. Now, this can be helpful because you also can see the answers for questions that you have not been able to attempt correctly. Another useful resource is TV5 Monde Apprendre le Français. So this offers interactive exercises aligned with CEFR levels for vocabulary, grammar, and listening comprehension. Some recommendations to prepare for the TCF Canada test: that for listening, always practice with authentic French audios. Try to listen to a lot of podcasts, YouTube channels, news segments, conversations that you would listen to in daily life, in daily routine. Train using headphones because as the computer is a computer-based test, so you'll be performing it with headphones. So try to do the test, practice test also using headphones. And expose yourself to various accents, speeds, and context. That is very important. For reading, try to build the habit of reading short articles, announcements, emails, advertisements, and news in French. Improve the recognition of keywords and context clues, which is very, very important when you're doing a multiple choice format. For speaking, practice structured speaking tasks, introduce yourself, express opinions, participate in role play, style exchanges. Record your responses. That's something very, very critical over here, because once you have recorded your responses and you listen to them, you will be able to improve the clarity, the pronunciation, and any grammatical errors that you might have made while performing the task. For writing, practice as much as you can. Write short messages, explanatory paragraphs, formal and semi-formal letters, but most importantly, time yourself. This is one of the areas that the candidates really struggle with, keeping pace with the time. So time yourself when you are practicing at home also to build speed and accuracy, and always be very careful about the word limits. Now, the exam day can be stressful for anybody. So how do you manage that stress on the day of the exam? Just stay focused on the overall meaning and not individual words or unknown words. Keep your eyes on the answer choices also while you're doing the multiple choice sections, and then anticipate information. That's very, very critical. If you miss a detail, do not panic. Just move on to the next question. There's no point pondering over the previous question because the next question is just running ahead or moving ahead, I would say. Remember that examiners are trained professionals. They are there to guide you. Take a brief pause to think before answering. This is acceptable and normal. In the speaking section, use simple, clear sentences instead of trying to overly make complex sentences. If you don't understand the prompt, politely ask the examiner to repeat it. But please note that once the examiner has started recording your responses, it cannot be stopped or paused. So my general stress management advice over here would be to practice in exam-like conditions always to reduce the surprise and anxiety. Try to sleep well and avoid last-minute cramming the night before the test. Arrive early at the test center and settle in calmly. Focus on one task at a time because each section is independent, so do not dwell on the previous one. We get a lot of emails from candidates asking how to register for the TCF Canada exam. The easiest and the fastest way to register for the TCF Canada exam is through the Ashton Testing Services website. All available upcoming test dates, time slots, and registration details are posted online and updated regularly. If you have questions or need assistance or experience issues during registration, you can always contact the center directly via the phone number or the email that is provided on the website. Staff members are available to guide you through the process. One very important thing to note over here is that TCF Canada dates, especially the weekend slots, tend to fill up very quickly. Candidates are strongly encouraged to book early to secure their preferred date. What to expect on the test day? So once you arrive at the center, try to arrive 15 or 20 minutes before the scheduled reporting time. And once you arrive at the center, a staff member will guide you in the waiting area and explain you the order of the day's components. So generally, you start with the speaking section, followed by listening, reading, and writing. At the check-in, all candidates must present a valid original government-issued ID. It should be the same that was used while registering for the exam. You should have your name and details verified by the administrative team. If there has been an error at the time of registration in your name, date of birth, or any other personal information, it has to be rectified either before or on the day of the exam. No changes can be made to your personal information after the day of the exam. Please note that photocopies or expired IDs or different IDs that were used while the registration will not be accepted. Acceptable IDs typically include your passport, a government-issued national ID, or a driver's license. There are many candidates who come from other cities to give the test at Ashton Testing Services, and they often ask us the question, where do we put our personal belongings? Will we be provided with a space? Yes, of course. So all your personal items, your bags, phones, electronic devices, your watches, they all need to be stored in a designated area. You'll be provided with a locker and you can store all your valuables in it. Please note that in the examination room, only your ID is allowed. Candidates must follow all instructions given by the supervisors and examiners. Some common mistakes that we often see that the candidates commit are that they arrive late for the test or bring a wrong ID, which is not matching with what they had used at the time of registration. Please avoid all these little mistakes. About the results. The results for TCF Canada are typically delivered within a few weeks after taking the exam. Once the results have been processed and validated by France Éducation Internationale in France, Ashton Testing Services will notify the candidates by email. The official attestation of results is then made available for candidates to download or access through the method indicated by the test center. This document is the official proof of French language proficiency that candidates can submit for immigration or for permanent residency applications. It might happen that you would not receive your desired scores in the first attempt and you want to retake the TCF Canada test. But please note that there is a mandatory waiting period of 30 days before you can take the TCF Canada test again. Candidates are advised to leave enough time for preparation between attempts and also ensure that there is enough time gap between the registration is valid. When you are coming for a second attempt, please review your previous score report to understand which skill areas need improvement. Focus on targeted practice. So you have received your previous scorecard. You should know that, okay, these are the sections that I need to improve upon. Listening and speaking often benefit from more regular and everyday practice. As I suggested earlier, use official preparation materials to build familiarity with the test style and timing. Consider taking a few practice sessions with a tutor or a teacher to strengthen your weaker areas. Now, why Ashton Testing Services is a great testing center, it offers a lot of advantages. First of all, it's a clean, professional, and well-controlled testing environment. Exam rooms are quiet, organized, and set up specifically to help candidates perform at their best. The team includes certified examiners and administrative staff who ensure that the test is conducted smoothly and according to the official guidelines. Clear instructions, organized scheduling, and friendly staff help reduce the stress on the exam day. And most importantly, it is very, very conveniently located in downtown Vancouver and is easily accessible by public transit with nearby amenities for candidates that are arriving early or are traveling from outside the city. Overall, Ashton Testing Services provides a supportive, streamlined, and well-managed testing experience to help candidates feel confident and comfortable throughout their exam day. So just for a recap, I would say just relax, prepare well, and trust the process. The TCF Canada test is designed to measure your true level of French, and with smart preparation, you can perform with confidence. Remember, you can book the exam directly online through the Ashton Testing Services website. And if you have any questions or need support at any stage during your registration, preparation, or on the test day, the Ashton team is always ready to help.